Welcome back to Host Ghost Stories. I'm your host, Tiffany. On this podcast, we read you a story, and then you tell us if you think it's true or false. So make sure to place it in the comments. This story was written to us through Reddit. Their screen name is Chrono2055. Sorry if I said that wrong. And you can find the story written under ours or on the screen name. So let's begin. Let me start off by saying this is a true story. Something I lived through as a child. What follows isn't fiction. It's a memory that stayed with me for years. Before my stepmom died, I used to see two things in the house. A glowing woman in a white and black shapeless mask. The woman felt calm, almost protective. The black mass never touched me. But I later learned it wasn't so passive with my stepmom. I was born in Alaska, though the word home never meant much to me. My father was in the military, and we drifted from place to place, like leaves caught in a restless wind. My earliest memories settled in North Carolina on Pope Air Force Base, a flat stretch of earth where summer air clung heavily to the skin and the nights seemed darker than they should have been. When my parents divorced, I stayed with my dad. He remarried quickly. My new stepmom was pale, frail, and often in and out of the hospital. A feeding tube curled from her chest like some foreign root, an anchor that seemed to tether her between her and somewhere else. It wasn't long after she moved in that the nights began to feel different. Like the house was listening. The first time I saw her, it was late. The house asleep, breathing in soft creaks. I had slipped from my bed to fetch a glass of water. In the kitchen, the refrigerator hummed faintly, the only sound in the stillness. Then I climbed to the stairs towards my bedroom, glass in hand. Halfway up, I froze. At the landing, just beyond the banister, stepped out of my room, was a woman in flowing white. She glowed faintly, not like a lamp, but like the afterlight that lingers when the moon is hidden by clouds. She didn't look at me, didn't speak, just drifted into my sister's room. The glass in my hand trembled. I couldn't yell for help. Worried it'd come for me. I spent the rest of the night downstairs. The next morning, after telling my family, they brushed it off as a nightmare. I really wanted to believe them. Weeks later, I saw her again. This time, she passed right in front of my door, silent, serene. No fear this time, only an odd sense of serenity. She began appearing every so often after that, until we moved to Texas. For months in the new house, nothing happened. Then one night, I woke up with unshakable feeling that I was being watched. It wasn't the lady in white. It was a tall, black figure, darker than the dark around it, edges shifting like smoke, but some solid. It was kind of shadow that somehow felt heavier than the darkness around. It didn't move, didn't speak, just stood there, heavy enough to make the air thick. Eventually it slipped away. From then on, the nights alternated. Sometimes the lady in white, sometimes the shadow, sometimes nothing, but never both. When my stepmom's health declined, the visits from the shadow grew more frequent. It lingered in doorways. Sometimes it stayed in the corner of my room, still impatient. I didn't know then what it was capable of. She died when I was 8. After that, they were both gone. Years later, an adult brought up these experiences with my sister. She went quiet, then admitted she'd seen them too, in Texas and in North Carolina. She'd been told to keep it to herself so I wouldn't be scared. And then she confirmed something for me that made my skin crawl. The shadow never came when the lady in white was around. When I finally confronted my dad, to my surprise, he didn't deny it. He said both figures had been around my stepmom long before they married, and he told me something I never saw for myself. How the black mass would throw her against walls, press her into the bed, even struck her with invisible force, hard enough to leave marks. I've always believed in the lady in white was a guardian, a quiet shield between my stepmom and the dark thing that haunted her. She was calming presence in the storm, a flicker of light pushing back into the shadows. But sometimes, late at night when everything was still, I couldn't shake the feeling that the shadow was patient, waiting, lurking, just beyond the edge of the fragile protection. It was like a dark force with a claim on her that no guardian could fully sever. I wonder now if that black entity was more than just a presence in the house, if it somehow fed on her suffering, if it tightened its grip as her body grew weaker. Maybe, in the end, it was not illness alone that took her from us. Maybe that shadow played a part. A silent, merciless predator waiting for its moment to strike. My sister still lives in Texas, in that house, and she says it's been quiet ever since.